They were pretty sure they knew who did it. It was just a matter of finding him. Hello, true crimeers. This is the case of Erica Richardson. Viewer discretion is advised. Before we get started, of course, hello, my name is Mike. If you are new to the channel, I tell 3 true crime stories every single week here on YouTube on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I also tell short-form true crime stories over on TikTok, where I'm more known. I have about 3 million followers, and the link to that is in the link tree in the description of this video below. The link also pops up here at some point at the beginning and at the end of the video. I tell at least 1 or 2 true crime stories there every single day in short form. Also in the link tree, you will find my merch store. We have like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. We ship all over this wonderful world, so feel free to check that out if you want to. And then lastly, if there's a case you want me to cover, please just email me. My email is listed below. Just email me the name of the person, where it happened, when it happened. I'll add it to the list. I can't promise you when I'll cover that case. I pick my cases at random, and there's like 5,800 names on that list, so could be a while. But at any rate, let's get into today's case. Erica Richardson was born on October 13th, 1964. She was actually born in San Antonio, Texas. Now, by the time this case occurs, she's actually living in the Valrico, Florida area. I guess that's near Tampa. When this case occurs, she is 33 years old. She is a very intelligent young woman. She actually earned her degree in microbiology from the University of Florida. And then she would go for her postgraduate, which her postgraduate work was in pharmaceuticals. And for that, she attended Howard University. When that was all kind of completed, she would end up getting her own gig managing a pharmacy, something that this is what the goal was. This is where she wanted to be. And Erica was doing super, super well for herself. She bought herself a really beautiful home. She bought herself a car. And, you know, she could just get the things she wanted to get. In 1997, she met a man named John Fugere. I'm not sure exactly how they met, but from what I understand, the two of them hit it off very, very quickly. They began dating like super fast. According to her family, he was this really cool guy. He was nice. He was sweet. He did everything for Erica that she wanted, he would do. She absolutely loved him right back, and they appear to be a very happy, very loving couple. And her parents approved. So eventually he ends up moving into her home, and he lives there for some time. And it gets to a point where anytime Erica wants to leave the house, like if she says one time, like, I'm going to the mall to go hang out with some friends, he would like get up and go, what do you mean you're going to the mall? Who are these people you're hanging out with? What are you doing with them? How do you know them? Like, he would question her every move. Anytime she wanted to do something where he wasn't going to be involved, he became very controlling. He wanted to know everything. This behavior just seemed to get worse and worse. It got to a point where Erica was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, you know, she's a very independent woman, as well as wanting to be in a relationship. She definitely wanted to have, you know, a man in her life, but not like this. And so the relationship just started to crumble. It really kind of ended at the point where he was essentially trying to alienate her from her own family and isolate her from them. Like, you can only be here with me and you can't do anything else. And at a point, he started to show some significant changes in his mood. He would go from being like this gentle guy to a very loud and angry guy. He was extremely jealous. He would call her at her pharmacy numerous times a day, asking her what she was doing, when she was coming home, like all of very invasive questions. He was being super belligerent towards her and saying, and basically telling her, I know you're cheating on me, you're seeing someone else, you're being unfaithful. And she's like, no, I'm not. And at that point, she's like, enough is enough. The relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. You need to move out now. And he did move out. But he didn't move out of her life because he kept harassing her. He actually now started to go to the pharmacy where she worked and was yelling for her and harassing her there, harassing her coworkers. Then he started showing up at her house, and she's like, you need to leave or I'm calling police. A couple more times that this has happened, she does call police, and police have to escort him off the property. Even after this arrest, he still pushed and continued to try to get to her. She filed a restraining order, but I'm sure, I mean, most of us know a restraining order is literally just a piece of paper. If someone is determined to get to you, that piece of paper means nothing to them. And he obviously broke the restraining order a couple of times. On December 8th, 1997, Erica was doing some Christmas shopping with her mom. And when they were leaving the mall, they were stopped by John Fouget. John was trying to tell Erica, listen, I've calmed down. Can we just please have a very civil conversation? He was really putting on a show. It looked like, I mean, at this point, Erica's mom and dad know all about him and are completely against him. They no longer think he's the guy they thought he was. Her mom is like, just come on, let's go. But Erica agreed to meet with him. As a matter of fact, she left that mall with him. And at that point, as they drove away, Erica's mom would never see Erica alive again. She tries to call Erica. Her mom tries to call Erica later that day. She doesn't answer. She tries calling a couple times the following day. She doesn't answer. By the second day of not hearing from her, she goes to her house. She drives there. When she gets to the house, she sees John's truck parked in the driveway, but she does not see Erica's car. That's gone. She knocks on the door and no one answers. She tries to open it, but it's locked. She peers into like the window on the door, doesn't see anything unusual. She begins to walk away, but then she has this motherly instinct, this gut instinct that I need to go check again. So she walks around the back where there are some windows and she peers in the window. And when she looks down, she sees a knife on the floor and there's blood on it. And that's immediately something's wrong, something's happened. She can't get in the house, so she goes to a neighbor. She calls 911. The police arrive within minutes. They are able to gain entry to the house, and they find Erica Richardson. She is lying on her back in the kitchen, and she had been stabbed to death. There were very obvious signs of a struggle within the house, especially in the kitchen. There was a lot of blood, and after a lot of smart forensic science, were able to determine that most of the blood belonged to Erica. However, they were able to single out another profile that someone else's blood had been left. Typically in cases like this where someone is, stabbing repeatedly, they tend to cut their own hand. And so the killer cut their hand and left their blood behind. This is in 1997. DNA technology was actually pretty advanced at that point, but it wasn't like we have now, like genetic genealogy and all that. Back then, you could match it to someone, but you needed to know that someone, or you needed to have that person's DNA in the system already. So when they ran that DNA, it didn't come up with a match to anyone. Meanwhile, they want to know where John Fouget is because his truck is in the driveway, where there's now a murdered woman, his ex-girlfriend, in the house, and her car is missing. Something's wrong here. He is a person of interest, they're saying at this point. I think they know, it seems kind of obvious that it's probably he who did it, but they couldn't say that. They needed proof. They didn't have that proof, not at that time. On December 23rd, 1997, Erica's vehicle is discovered, and her Honda was found in the parking lot in Lafayette, Louisiana, which just so happens to be John Fouget's hometown. They're scouring the area for him. They still can't find him. Meanwhile, they've processed the house where there were a ton of fingerprints also left everywhere. And I guess they had John's fingerprints in the system at that point, and his fingerprints came up to a match as to being a whole bunch of fingerprints that were in the house. But police could not use that as actual evidence because they knew for a fact he had lived in that house for a very long time, and he would have left fingerprints everywhere, including the knife. These are knives that he would have handled anyway. 4 months later, on April 13th, 1998, a body was pulled out of the Atchafalaya River, if I said that right. I believe it runs through Louisiana. When this body was pulled out of the river, they did not know their identity. So they were literally just tagged as John Doe A98-071. They took DNA from this John Doe, just to store it in their system, so in case they're ever able to identify who it is, we can use this DNA. Well, this individual was also murdered. They were killed. How they were killed, I'm not sure, but they did say that this was a clear homicide. In July of 2008, so we're talking 10 years down the road, as they are taking the DNA found with Erica Richardson's body. They had, I guess, a cold case team who were sort of kind of reprocessed some of the evidence, and they plugged it into the system. And the DNA finally came back with a match. It matched John Doe A98-071. Well, who the hell is this guy? They were able to obtain dental records from John Fouget, and the dental records would match the John Doe. So this John Doe who was found murdered in a river was John Fouget. And the DNA from him was matched to the DNA, the blood, found at the crime scene where Erica Richardson was stabbed to death. This now was their concrete evidence, their proof that John Fouget was, in fact, Erica Richardson's killer. But he will never face justice. But he got a different kind of justice. Somebody killed him. I mean, it's like, oops, oh, darn. I mean, yeah, you would rather, in situations like this, you would rather than have to, like, face a jury and go to trial and get sentenced to prison for the rest of their life, right? But if it's not that, then this may be the next best thing, because this person can no longer hurt anyone ever again. They can no longer put harm on anyone ever again. And there's just that extra, like, little twist, this irony that he himself, just 4 months after he murdered Erica, he himself was murdered. And the other kind of bit of a twist to this is his murder has never been solved. So the murderer's murder is a cold case. Obviously, I'm sure they still need to and want to find out who killed him, because that's also a killer. Maybe it was a Dexter type that did it. I don't know. Maybe someone paid it forward and that guy got killed, and then the next guy got killed. The guy who killed them got killed. Like, it's, who knows? But the guy's gone, and he isn't going to hurt anyone ever again. And so Erica Richardson, while she did not get the proper legal justice, she got street justice, if you will. And it was the justice that Erica Richardson rightfully deserved. But that's it for this case. True crime, a Rooney Doody Dingleberry Dongs. I hope you found it interesting. As usual, please subscribe, give this video a like so more people see it. Check me out over on TikTok. Check out the merch store in the link tree in the description below. Recommend a case to my email address. And that is it. Hey, to finish this video today, I want to show you something I got. I'm not sure. Maybe you've noticed it in the corner. I don't know how well you can see it in the video. But look, it's me. It's a Crimerer Mikey pop figure. I don't know if this gonna, oh God. I don't know if it's gonna blur out or not. But it's got I have a baseball sticker on, and then a club of some kind, whether it be a murder weapon or a tiki torch or a baseball bat, I don't know. And the other hand, I'm holding a game controller, and I am wearing flip-flops because that's what I always wear. And I have serial killer glasses on. My mom got this for me. I'm a pop figure. I have no more room though, so he's gonna live in the corner for now until I don't know, get a third shelf. I'm not sure, but there I am. I'm a pop guy. No, you can't go and buy him because this is just one of those things that you make one of. So you can do this to yourself, apparently. So yeah, try it out. I don't know. It's not a sponsor or anything, but maybe you could be, Pop. Just kidding. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Who are you? I don't know. Who am I? I'm this guy. I am a guy who likes to not fly. There we go. Mike, you ended on an awkward. Oh God, I almost dropped myself. I almost died. Is this like a voodoo doll? I felt it. When I dropped, I felt a rush. This is a voodoo pop. Voodoo that you do with the pop. Shut up, Mike. Anyway, this is uncomfortable for everyone involved, so signing off. Sayonara, suckers. Idiots. That was rude. Bye.